Are ya ready, yokers?
I'm ready, Captain.
It's aye, Captain. Come on.
I did not watch SpongeBob as a child.
I don't know what possessed me to do that. I just did it.
I didn't know this was going to happen, everybody. But hello, everybody. How all yokers doing?
Yes.
Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day today so far. I am cold. Seraph, how are you doing today?
I am also cold. I wanted to ask a question, Boz. We saw it in the chat earlier. When you have a guest speaker on in place of Boz or Seraph, does that mean you're unequally yoked?
I mean, yes.
I think yes.
I think so. Yes. I mean, we are yoke fellows. Mm-hmm. We do life together. We game together. And if you have somebody in a YokeTalk that you don't game together with or do life together with, you'd be essentially unequally yoked at that point.
Indeed.
So I believe yes.
Yes, that is the answer. It has been decided. Differently yoked. Yes,
and that's it for the YokeTalk today, guys.
And that's it for everybody. What if we just did that instead of talking about games or like anything? We just talk about like yokes.
Yokes.
Actually,
just one day.
The actual YokeTalk.
The actual YokeTalk, and then one day we'll do the actual YokeTalk, and we'll talk about egg yolks, and we'll have egg yolks. We'll have hard-boiled egg yolks. We'll have unboiled egg yolks, and then we'll eat sunny side up eggs because it has a great yolk on top.
That's so fun
with toast.
To say. Yolk.
It's
fun to say. I don't know why. it's because we're trying to verbally differentiate it from yolk so that people know the difference. But it's pretty funny. Great.
Yoki.
Yoki? What? We've gone too far.
Oh boy. Anyways, hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. We have a show for you that I believe you guys are going to enjoy. We have a few things that we're going to be going through, gaming things. Then we also have a life topic to talk about today. As you guys know, throughout January, we've been talking about habits. And so we're going to be talking about some habits today. But Seraph, why don't you give us a preview of some of the topics that we're going to be going through today?
Yeah, so not a whole lot this week. I was a little disappointed looking up the topics past couple of days, trying to find stuff to talk about. There's not really any heavy hitters, so to speak. But we got some stuff, some interesting things we can touch on. New Star Wars game has been announced. We're going to be talking about that. The developers of an acclaimed Skyrim mod are making their own game now. Very, very cool. And this brings an especially sad tone to my heart. Bungie's vast library of Halo stats goes offline next month. Guys, I need to see my KD from 10 years ago. It needs to be... I will. I'm going to screenshot everything. Because it needs to be immortalized. So this topic has made me very sad, and I cannot continue. So, Boz, would you please take it from here?
I would love to take it from here because I could care less. The Nintendo, there was a Nintendo player that turned a interesting game, we'll talk about it a little bit, into a fitness game. And I've seen a few people do this even with different Nintendo games. It's been very interesting, and I haven't read up on this one specifically yet, but I'm excited to see what that's all about. And then finally, there is a very, very, very popular game that got announced last year that was supposed to come out in 2021 and has been delayed until 2022. We'll be telling you guys what that game is. And then finally, our life topic today in question is, how do we make habits? How do we make habits? And this can be bad habits. This could be good habits, but how do we make habits in general? Let's focus on the good ones, but we'll also talk about how to maybe avoid making bad habits as well, because that can be really, really difficult at times. So it's
gonna be good. And then we're gonna talk about Rust, because that's a new hotness. But
Rust is just, it's everywhere. It's everywhere right now. You cannot go on to Twitch without Rust being on. You just can't, except for here at the YokeTalk.
But we literally just said it.
We'll talk about it later.
And that's time for the intro, everybody. Is it later yet?
It's almost later. It's getting there.
So not Rust yet.
It's 12:05. About to be 12:06. It's 12:06.
It's 12:06. Time to talk about
now
Rust.
It's later. Time to talk about Rust.
I'm kidding. All right, guys. New Star Wars game has been announced.
Wait.
What?
I've already told you this, but the chat just said happy birthday, Seraph.
Yes, thank you, guys.
If you guys didn't know, today is Unworthy Seraph's birthday, my yoke fellow. Happy birthday, my friend. And from everybody in the chat here, all the yokers out there, we say happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I don't usually make a big deal of it. It's just a birthday to me. Not a huge deal for me, but I appreciate the birthday wishes.
It's the day of your birth. It's the day that you... All right.
But I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
New topics.
I just don't usually make a big deal of it. But new Star Wars game coming out. Yes. So this is a continuation of what we talked about last week with the new Lucasfilms Game Studios kind of taking control of Star Wars gaming. And it seems that our suspicions have been confirmed. Last week we were like, does this mean that companies or studios other than EA are going to be able to make Star Wars games? Guys, the answer is yes, because Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars game, and it's coming from the makers of what popular game, Buzz?
The Division.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Now, I will say this. I'm not the biggest fan of Ubisoft. I used to be. I think Prince of Persia, that trilogy, was really what got me into Ubisoft in the beginning. If you guys remember The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and The Two Thrones, I think it was. Great games. And then they kind of started going into a different direction. Assassin's Creed was good for a while. And then their games just started bugging out. And when I say bugging out, I mean like
kind of bugging out a little bit, but
yeah, I haven't
that one
really
game, Immortals Phoenix Rising. Apparently that one's really good.
I heard that was really good, and I've been planning on possibly picking that one up in the future. That looks really good. I like adventure games anyways, but like for the most part, like all their online type stuff usually doesn't work for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then when it does work, you realize it's really not that good. So I understand some people really like Ubisoft games. I have no problem with that at all. But like The Division, that fell flat, like quick. That was, it was a game. So what I'm hoping to see, and it is a good game that comes out for Star Wars. What I don't want to see is, Star Wars The Division come out and I hope not. I'd be really sad.
Yeah. I think it could be some kind of looter shooter potentially, but I don't think it would necessarily just be like The Division with a Star Wars skin. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Division studio made before The Division, if anything.
I don't know. Now, The Division 2 did better than The Division, right?
Believe so.
I haven't heard anything about The Division 2 in years.
I think it kind of fell off.
This is why I'm a little skeptical. This is why I'm skeptical about this. Now, we know that Fallen Order, which was made by EA, did really good, and they're planning on making more of those. If you guys didn't know, Battlefront 2, I don't know if it still is, but last week it was for free on the Epic Store. Just so you guys know the new Battlefront 2, not the old one. And so I never installed it, but I purchased it just so I could have it, just to say I have Battlefront 2. Don't know if I'll ever play the game.
It's pretty good though, to be honest.
Yeah. And so we had 2 really good Star Wars games come out this past year, though. We had Fallen Order, and then we had Squadrons. And so those 2 games, I don't know. All of a sudden, EA starts making good games. They're like, yeah, let's go elsewhere.
It's weird. Like, yeah, you would have expected this kind of change like 2 years ago.
When things were not going well. When Battlefront 1 came out, and that fell flat really quick. So
when Battlefront 2 came out, and it was a loot box chaos.
But it got better.
It did. It got a lot better.
I don't know.
It's just weird for this change to come now.
It is. And Ubisoft, here's what I'm expecting to see, though, from Ubisoft. I'm expecting you to be able to climb to the top of a tower, to be able to open up a portion of the map, and to jump down, and you have a lightsaber. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's what I'm expecting. I'm hoping there's more to it.
We'll see. We will see. But I'm really excited to see what else we get from this development. Different studios and companies making Star Wars games.
Could you imagine?
Really excited.
Could you imagine? Now, this is never going to happen. Could you imagine if Bethesda made a Star Wars game?
So like a Fallout or a Skyrim, but like Star Wars.
It would actually be amazing.
That would be cool.
It would be.
But they're busy making an Indiana Jones game, apparently. Which apparently Disney owns, I guess. Or maybe.
Yeah, because it's Lucas. It's LucasArts. Disney owns LucasArts.
Do they own...
Disney also owns Star Wars, which is made by LucasArts. It's all... Indiana Jones and Star Wars essentially are the same thing. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So they own like Indiana Jones as a whole? Or did they just own the game rights? No,
they own Indiana Jones because they own LucasArts.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's how the contract went down. I don't think they just own Star Wars. Star Wars just happens to be a lot bigger than Indiana Jones. And for some reason, they keep coming out with new Indiana Jones movies, even though, Harrison Ford, he's kind of, he's getting older. Let's be honest. These bodies do not last, guys. So, Star Wars 76. That's actually going to be it's Harrison Ford's age. That's all it's going to do. All right. So anyways, moving forward though, this is a really cool topic that I thought came out. So you guys know Skyrim. We've been playing it for 10 years now, and we have about 800 different versions of Skyrim.
For almost 10 years now. Jeez.
It's been almost 10 years, guys. This November 11th will be 10 years, marks the anniversary.
We've had about 10 different versions of it too.
Oh, there's been more than 10. I'm sure there's been. You have it on stinking, what is it? The Amazon Echo. Like you have that, even though it's kind of a funny version, it's still a version. Like the fact that you can do that is just, yeah. So anyways, there was a group of people who have been doing modding for a long time. They've modded multiple games, but they made a pretty large mod for Skyrim. And apparently this mod has 30 hours of more questing that you can do. There's professional voice acting for the dialogue, which you don't get a lot from modders, specifically in Skyrim, things like that. And so I think this is really neat. But the biggest thing is that they're actually creating their own game, Seraph. What do you think about this, and how do you think that's going to go?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think getting to make your own game is probably like maybe not every modder's dream, but it's like you clearly succeeded as a modder if you're going on to make your own game. I feel like, and the team that made this mod has been modding since Morrowind, so clearly they've been at it for a long time.
Morrowind needed mods. I'm still trying to play that game like vanilla, and it's just not good. I don't know. People are like, I got lost in that game when I first picked it up on the Xbox. And I'm playing
actually lost.
That too. But I try to like hit rats and I die because there's RNG between every hit. There's RNG in every sword slice, whether you're going to hit the person or not. I don't even know what brings up your RNG, brings down your RNG. I have no clue. And I died to rats all the time. The funny thing
about Morrowind was that was before they added like protection for quest NPCs. So like you could literally kill anybody. And I remember my older brother played Morrowind, and he killed like the main quest giver guy. And so like he just couldn't continue, and he like renamed his save file Doomed World because he couldn't continue the main quest.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I've tried to kill main quest people in Skyrim before. It doesn't work. The only reason why though was because my game was broken. The guy kept following me even though he wasn't a follower. It's clipped. It's really sad. I think his name was Farkas.
Oh,
I think a guy he kept running up to me and going, "Do you need my help?" You need to have his sword up, but literally he wasn't following me, and I couldn't have him stop. He would follow me from stinking Riften to like whatever the other side of the map
Solitude?
is. It was Solitude. It was actually bad. It was actually bad. But so yeah, I think this is interesting. I thought the most interesting is, and many of you may not know, and I didn't even know, there's some very popular games that are out there that started off as mods essentially. And so I wanted to go through this. There's popular games that you guys know. There were Counter-Strike, Dota, and PUBG began as overhauls. They were overhauls for Half-Life, Warcraft 3, and Arma 2. And I know you're a big fan of Dota 2, I think it is. And so this is a good thing for mods, for a team of people who are going to be creating a new game. I think it's really interesting. We don't know what type of game it's going to be yet, but I think it's exciting.
It's really, really cool. I kind of want to go play the mod, to be honest. I wonder if this is the same one that I heard about like a couple of years ago. I feel like it has to be, because I remember that one came out, but when it first came out, it only had German voice acting. So I'm guessing the team is like a German team. So there was only German voice acting, but now it has English voice acting and German voice acting. So I kind of want to play it now. I watched the trailer. It looks like really, really cool.
It has nearly 500,000 downloads.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So this is a really big mod. To add 30 plus hours into a game, that's huge. I have no idea how modding works, but I know that this is like essentially just developing a whole new game at that point. You just have the engine built for you.
Yeah, the engine and the mechanics of the game are built. They basically had to create the story. They had to create the setting, the map and everything, all the dialogue and stuff, characters, all that. I'm sure some unique loot and things like that. So it was definitely a lot less work than if they just made a game from scratch, but still quite the undertaking, especially from just a mod team.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'm ever going to play it or not. I'm still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, and we have to wait for Starfield.
Yeah, but that could be awful at this point.
I'd have a hard time seeing Bethesda mess up after 15 years worth of making a game.
I mean,
and the reason why I say 15 is because we know it's not coming out until 2026. Let's be honest here. Starfield still has to come out. Listen, if they made a brand new engine for Starfield, they were waiting for PlayStation 5 to come out and the Xbox Series X so that they could essentially put more power into this game. At least that's my knowledge. I don't know what Starfield's about. Nobody does. They've kept it tight under wraps. I'm hoping to see it soon, but Elder Scrolls 6 isn't coming out for another 4 years. 3, maybe. Minimum 3 years. Minimum. I'm sad.
Yep.
I want to see it, honestly, because Oblivion came out in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 7. Maybe 7. Yeah, because it came out on the PlayStation 3, and Skyrim first released on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.
I feel like Oblivion had to be at least.
I think it was 2007.
Let's see.
I think it was 2007.
2006 of March.
Okay. Of March. Okay. So regardless, okay, even 2006, that's 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 10.
I mean, they've been doing other things, but
I know they've been doing other things, but this is a problem. I don't care if they've been doing other things. This is an issue. So anyways, but moving off of Skyrim, because I could talk about that forever. Guys, Seraph is very sad.
Really sad.
He's really sad.
Really sad.
But maybe you are very happy because maybe you look at your stats.
Why would you be happy?
some people have horrible stats, man. They're like, oh, this is a great thing. There's nothing to remind me. But Seraph, why have you been in mourning for the past day and a half?
Yes. My good friends, my good yokers. Bungie's vast library of Halo stats is going offline. If you are unfamiliar with this incredible feat of data and keeping the past alive, you may know that Bungie used to own Halo before they handed it off to Microsoft and 343 Industries. But all this time, they have kept up their original website that housed oodles and oodles of stats.
Does it house new stats?
I'm not
like from the Master Chief Collection.
I think they migrated the stats over to a different site.
Okay.
For those games in some fashion.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but basically stats for all your Halo games that you played years and years and years ago were on this site. You could look at so many things. You look at like your all the medals you got and like your highest kill streaks and stuff, and like it was amazing. It was great. It was fantastic.
Now,
but they're finally shutting it down. I'm sad.
They're shutting it down. So I know you're sad. I'm not very sad. Never a big Halo player. My highest kill streak is probably 1, because I've played the game once, maybe twice. That's about it. Yes. But yeah, a lot of people are very sad about this. But I mean, if it's not being updated anymore, I don't know how sad it can be, because you can just screenshot everything. So if it's not being updated anymore, is it really that sad?
It is. It's very sad.
It's the beginning of a new generation, guys. Beginning of a new generation. So tell me in the chat if you are a big Halo fan and if you are sad that this this feature is essentially being shut down. Because I want to see how many people are in mourning, just like Unworthy Seraph is. And trying to okay, so
what?
It looks like, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think the new stats from the Master Chief Collection were put into that.
No.
It doesn't look like it.
But I think if you played, like if you went back and played Halo 3 or Reach, which I think the servers were still up, at least maybe until recently. If you went back,
Reach.
If you went back and played those on the Xbox, like it would even record those stats, I believe.
Okay. I think it was Reach that I played, right? That was the first one that came out, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, on PC. And so I believe that Reach was the one that I played. And I only played it a couple times. I don't think I own any of the other ones, to be honest. Yeah, I've only played it twice, 3 times maybe. And it was okay.
I love Reach.
It was all right. I personally like Destiny's multiplayer better. I don't play Destiny anymore, but I did enjoy Destiny's better than that. So
I mean, Destiny feels like Halo. But
it does.
A little faster.
I think that's the reason why I enjoyed it more, because it was a little faster than Halo. Halo it felt weird for me. It felt floaty. It felt like going from Young Link to Toon Link in Smash Brothers. That's what it felt like.
Not a bad comparison.
I love how you actually understood me though.
Yeah. All right. So in other news, this Nintendo player turned Mario Kart 8 Deluxe into a fitness game.
Yes.
He literally made what are the cardboard stuff called?
Labo.
Labo.
Labos.
He literally made like a Labo bike. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's like it's literally like an exercise bike, but he like put cardboard around it.
He uses the Ring Fit,
yes,
or the Ring Adventure ring. I don't know what else to call it. The Ring Adventure thing. He uses that as the steering wheel.
Yes,
and he made a bike out of cardboard.
Mm-hmm. Well,
this is amazing.
Well, he like did an exercise bike and then like put cardboard around it, but
I don't. Okay, so how does this thing actually? Okay, because I never really cared for the Labo kit.
Have you seen the guy that played Widowmaker with a piece of bread?
With a piece of bread?
I believe so.
No.
Yeah. Basically, there's this guy that like makes all these custom controllers for Overwatch characters. So,
is he the one that used the Nerf arrow for Hanzo? Because I saw that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. So, how does it? How can you make something work with a piece of bread?
I don't remember. I think it was
you eat a corner of it.
It was like a baguette. It was like a baguette because Widowmaker. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did that.
Guys, if you ever want to get big on Twitch, this is all you need to do. And honestly, you get a meal and you get to play a video game all in one. Baguette, if you're gluten-free, get a gluten-free one. And then just, snipe people. Yeah, this is great. This is great.
I think I found it. Yep.
But yeah, this is interesting because he literally made his exercise bike. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm watching a clip of the baguette. He's literally playing the game, and then he just like leans over and like takes a bite out of the bread.
That's something I would do.
It's fantastic.
So the Labo, whatever, however you say it, was inspired by Rob the robot that came out in the 80s, I think it was, or something like that. I'm still wondering, how does a piece of cardboard or multiple pieces of cardboard, first of all, how does that even work with the Switch?
It's the cardboard doesn't do anything. They're just like, it's just like it's almost like the ring. Like the ring doesn't actually do anything. It just facilitates the Joy-Con.
How does it work though? Like the piano, okay? Like I've seen people playing a mini piano with the Labo. That was like one of the big things about it at the beginning. Like you could press a certain key and it would play. I think it's with
the IR sensor. So you put the Joy-Con in, and the IR sensor looks across, and it can tell which key.
That's what that thing is for.
I mean, it's for anything you want to do with it, but
dude, guys, there's so many sensors inside the Switch that I never will use.
Yeah.
Just never will use. I pay probably top dollar for this Nintendo Switch, and I probably use maybe about $50 worth of what the Switch can actually have the ability to do. But yeah, that's interesting. So the ring does have sensors. Oh, the actual ring has sensors. Yes. So interesting. Okay. Apparently.
I don't know about that.
Maybe apparently it has it for the squeezing. So that's interesting. But yeah, so he made it so that he can play Mario Kart on an exercise bike. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if I would ever use it. When I sit down the game, I'm not one to want to stand up and do things. To be completely honest, We Fit Bowling had its time, and I'm done. We Fit Bowling.
Oh, maybe it does. It like slots into it.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Getting the squeezing to translate to shooting items was more difficult. So when he squeezes the wheel, it shoots items.
That's great.
So that he's literally getting a full body workout. He's not just working out his legs. He's also working out his arms at the same time. Oh, yeah. So that's interesting. So,
but yeah, basically, if you know electrical stuff, you can do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You just like rewire it to the controller.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. So if you guys ever feel inspired to use your Labo sitting around at your house, now you know that you can make it so that you can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with your Labo if you want to get a good workout in.
What if Nintendo cease and desisted this man? Just because?
Nothing would happen. I would still buy Skyward Sword. Once it gets ported to the Switch, I would still buy Skyward Sword. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Listen, it got listed last year on Amazon for 0.2 seconds, and then it went off listing. So I want it. It's coming out this year. This, guys, mark my words, this year.
But guess what? It's not coming out this year.
Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year.
No, the next topic.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
trying to segue, my guy.
Look at that segue, guys. I'm not sad about this. I am not sad. I'll be completely honest. I've been looking forward to this for years. And you guys are going to say, how could you be looking forward to this for years? Because this was my idea like 6 years ago. Hogwarts Legacy is delayed until 2022. Seraph, I don't know. Are you a Harry Potter fan? I know you've seen the movies and haven't read the books.
Yeah.
Would you be getting this game?
To be honest,
I know you own the Lego ones.
If it looks fun, yeah, it would definitely. It's almost like Star Wars for me. Like, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. Right. I think Star Wars has a lot of really good games. In the past and recently, and I enjoy those games because they're good games, not just because they're Star Wars games. So as long as this is like a good game, yeah, I'd get it. I enjoy Harry Potter.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. Honestly, being delayed, I'm okay with this. And the reason why is because I don't want them to come out with this game and then it just does awful. We've seen a lot of games that get rushed, and this game is taking its time. It took its time to even announce it because it's been rumored for 2-3 years now. A couple of years ago, I remember they were saying rumors about that there was a Harry Potter game in development. They just didn't know if it was going to be an RPG or if it was going to be an MMO. Those were the two thoughts at the time. And then they revealed that at the PlayStation 5 event before the PlayStation 5 came out last year. And
which one is this?
Now
is it single player or is it an MMO? Forget.
This game?
Yeah.
I think it's not an MMO. I know that, but I don't know if it's going to be multiplayer. It is an RPG though.
Okay. I don't know if I'd play it if it was single player.
It's an open world action role playing RPG.
It would depend on the gameplay.
Honestly, I'm hoping. I don't want it to be exactly like this, but like almost like a Skyrim type of feel. And the reason why I say that, or even Breath of the Wild, the reason why I say that is because, like, okay, Breath of the Wild, for example, you have all of Hyrule that you can go into. And I love that. You can go and you can search out things. I don't want it to be like a streamlined, like one game where you just go straight into everything and can't go anywhere else. Skyrim, at the beginning of the game, you could just go anywhere you want. And I love that. And so I'm hoping that this game is like that too, because I would love to just check out Hogsmeade. Just go check out things. I don't want it to be locked when I get in there. I don't care if there's characters that are going to kill me. That's fine. You can kill me all you want. I could care less about that, but I just want to be able to explore. So it says it's open world. So I'm hoping that it is very open world. So, and I hope you get to choose your house because I'm a Hufflepuff.
I can't imagine them not letting you do that.
Yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff at heart. I'm very loyal to people.
Confirmed.
So yeah, I'm excited though.
Speaking of being loyal, are you loyal to your habits?
I mean, I'm loyal to people.
So you're not loyal to your habits?
Good habits sometimes, bad habits.
Do you struggle with making habits, Buzz?
Do I struggle with making habits? Let's talk about
that's what we're talking about today.
Habits.
Talking about making habits, everybody. Making habits is our life topic for today as we continue in the month of January talking about habits. So we thought, why not talk about how we make habits, both personally, but also just in general. So
yeah. There's so obviously there's two types of habits that you can make. There are good habits and there are bad habits. We're going to talk about making those a little bit and how to avoid making bad habits and how to make good habits in your life. So we talked about some of our good habits about a week ago, and I'm struggling with that, to be completely honest.
Did you think of any new ones?
I did.
Okay.
So it's not really my fault. I won't say that. It's nobody's fault necessarily. My wife has a lot of clothes. Okay. She has too much clothes. So with that in mind, I do my laundry pretty often, to the point where, like, if I'm like running low on clothes, I'm like, okay, I should probably do the laundry, and I get the laundry done and I have fresh set of clothes at all times. However, there are times that maybe I should just do laundry more often so I don't have to sit there for a half an hour folding clothes. So now I'm doing laundry like every other day, and I take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Easy clap, like it's just a little thing, but it was something that I know that I can do. It allows me to make sure you're supposed to change your shower towels every 4 days, supposed to change your sheets at least once every week. And this is allowing me to be able to incorporate all of those things with an easy schedule of doing my laundry instead of waiting accidentally 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the sheets. And so it's making everything a lot easier for me. So
I would wash my
something
sheets
new.
more often if they weren't so annoying to put back on the bed.
The fitted sheets is a struggle.
That's the worst part.
But the queen bed sheets are the worst. They just, guys, if they could only just make them like 3 inches longer, why don't they? They're trying to save money. But anyway,
yes. So I want to talk about how I personally kind of try to make habits, because it's definitely really hard to like start new habits, because it's so easy to just keep doing what you're doing. So you really have to kind of go out of your way to start a new habit. Like you can't just like, sometimes you can just start doing something and it's very easy for you to pick it up. But other times you really have to like work at it and like put things in place to like keep it going. So like whether that's reminders on your phone or like setting something up to where you're going to see it every day. I do those kind of things. Whether I put like a daily reminder on my phone, just to remind me to do it until it becomes habit, or like if it's something like anything that I can like put in its place to where I will know it's there. Like last week, I think I mentioned I read my Bible every morning, and I put my Bible open next to my bed to help me keep that habit going because it's just right there. So like I'll do things like that where I just put things in the place that I want to use them, where they're just ready to go, and it's very easy for me to keep that habit going and to start it.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things for me is keeping the habit going after it's been made. And so what I mean by that is generally it takes about 28 days to create a habit. So after 28 days, if you've been doing something consistently and you don't do it on the 29th day, it will feel weird because you're feeling like you're missing something. And the reason why is because you've created a new habit in your life that you've been doing for the past 28 days, about a month or so. And so keeping the habit going is really difficult, though, because we can get motivated super easy. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I would go to the dentist and I would get my teeth cleaned. They would tell me about flossing and all this other stuff. And I would keep my teeth clean and I would floss for a few days. And then I was just like, I'd rather not right now. And so I would go a couple of days without flossing and stuff like that. And it's super easy to get motivated, but it's super difficult to keep it going. And I really like what Seraph said. He putting reminders on your phone, keeping your Bible open next to your bed. That will help remind you. But then we got to stay motivated to do it, because I know there's a lot of times maybe you haven't read your Bible or you haven't done something that you normally would do that is a good habit. But then it's 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. And you look at your open Bible and you say, yeah, God can wait for tomorrow. Like I've done that, right? I think everybody has done that at some part of their life. And so I think keeping habits a lot of times for me is a lot harder than just getting the habit going in the first place. I know for myself, like everybody does this, start a yearly read of the Bible, right? I'm going to go through the Bible in 1 year this year. And then you fall behind by a week. Then you fall behind by a month. Then you realize you're like, all right, well, then I'm going to do it twice today. Just keeping that habit going is really difficult for me.
Yeah. I think it probably has, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, or I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would assume that it probably has something to do with like kind of the dopamine factor, where you like it feels really good the first time, but then it feels not as good as you keep doing it because you're used to doing it. And then by the time you accidentally skip a day, sometimes you just don't even realize, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe I should keep doing that again. So I think that might be a factor of why it's really hard to keep it going. Because like I think when we're trying to start like a new good habit, it feels really good. You know, we're making a positive change in our life, all that. But then once that initial like really good feeling wears off, it's a lot harder to keep up that good habit, which is why like the reminders and just keeping it in your face is really good for me.
Yeah. And so there are bad habits too.
Yes.
And so let me ask you, Seraph, why
Sure.
do you think it's easier to create a bad habit over a good habit?
Easier to create a bad habit over a good habit. Hmm. I think in general, yes. Particularly because of the types of bad habits that are considered bad habits, because usually they can often be like comfort things. So like for instance, like if you eat late at night, right? Not like a super bad thing to do, but also not a great thing to do. And it's like something that's like comfortable for a lot of people, or like if they're like stress eating or something, like it feels good to do it. I think that's the trick about bad habits, is lots of times they feel good to do, and like they're just comfortable because you're used to doing it. So I think for that reason in particular, bad habits are easier to start and a lot harder to break, because good habits usually are things that we're going out of our way to do that we know is going to make a positive impact on our life, but there's no like immediate payoff usually. Like it's not like we get to eat some chips and they are delicious. Like most people don't enjoy brushing their teeth. Like you probably don't hate it, maybe, but it's not like the best part of your day, right? Like, so I think just because of like the nature of what a lot of bad habits are, yeah, they're definitely a lot easier to start and a lot harder to break, because they're deceptive almost.
Sure. Yeah. And I was thinking the same exact thing. I think a lot of bad habits start because of a comfort factor. And so, for example, a lot of people have, and people are going to say, well, that's not really a habit, but people who don't exercise, you're in the habit of not exercising every single day. It's still a habit. It's much easier for me to sit down in this comfortable chair and game than it is for me to get up, go out of my way, take 30 minutes to go outside and go for a jog or something like that. It's much easier for me to do this rather than it is to do that. And so I think bad habits, like you were saying, it just puts you in a comfortable place a lot of times. And I'm not saying, listen, sitting down for a day and not working out for a day, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about never doing something else that can be healthy for your life. I'm not, and so I know a lot of people, they might not have the time to and things like that, but it comes to a matter of, I think there's even a habit in today's culture, and I know I've been here before as well, where you kind of allow just things that aren't important to overtake some of the responsibilities that you have in life. And that's really difficult to get out of. And so if you've created a habit in your life to be able to, put gaming over your spouse, or put gaming over work, or put whatever it is over something else that should be a responsibility in your life, let's just say you're a big gamer, right? I'm a gamer. I love gaming, but I also have to clean my house and do the dishes. If I'm not doing that, that's a really bad habit that I've gotten into, because I've put my life responsibilities under something that I like to do. Gaming is not bad, but there is a problem when I start making that a priority in my life. I think that's one of the biggest deals about habits. So creating bad habits, how can we avoid creating those bad habits?
Yeah, I think.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I think the trickiest thing about that is being conscious of when you could be starting a bad habit, right? Because like we talked about before, usually they're like comfortable, they feel good in the moment. But I think the hardest thing is like realizing that you're beginning to start that bad habit in the first place. So I think just kind of being conscious of what you're doing, if you like if you going back to the like eating late at night thing, like if for whatever reason you start doing that, just like try to be aware of everything you're doing and be like, okay, well, why am I eating late at night all of a sudden? I didn't used to do that. And it's so hard to kind of realize that, because it doesn't seem like such a bad thing, depending on what it is. And I think that's the trickiest part, is just being aware of the fact that you might be starting a bad habit.
I think a lot of times a bad habit comes because you don't have a good habit. So what you were just talking about,
yeah, really
eating
good.
late at night. Why am I eating late at night? Did you eat dinner?
Did you eat a big enough dinner?
Did you eat a big enough dinner? Was, did you have enough of, all the different types of food you're supposed to get throughout the day? So I think creating a good habit can definitely prevent you from creating bad habits. So for example, what was I talking about before? Refresh my mind. Exercising, yes. Right? So, well, if you create a good habit of exercising, be mindful of that and making sure that you do it for, like I said, a month straight. If you do something for about a month straight, you're going to create a good habit. It's going to feel like you're missing something in your life after that if you don't do it. And so you continue doing it on a daily basis. Reading your Bible, I know that this isn't necessarily the most spiritual based conversation at the YokeTalk, but reading your Bible is a good habit to have every single day when you're opening up the Word of God and you're really diving into His Word for a half an hour every single day. You're getting that communion with God. It's a good habit to create in your life so that you're not neglecting praying. You're not neglecting reading His Word or anything like that. And so those are really good habits to make rather than just sitting down and doing something else. Because like I said, a lot of times we get tired. And so I think to prevent bad habits, we need to continually be making good habits.
Yeah, that's really good.
Something that I probably should do, and just thought about this now. I'm a person where if I talk through things, I come up with ideas. That's what I do. Something that I think would be really good for me to do is to try and create one good habit every month. Like cool. At the start of every month, like on the first of every month, just say, this is going to be my good habit this month, and really go at it for an entire month. And if I continually do that every single month, I'll be getting more and more and more and more good habits over time, which will prevent me from having those bad habits, such as not exercising, such as eating too late at night. Listen, the other day I sat down with a tub of ice cream, cookie dough ice cream. Listen, the way to my heart, a tub of cookie, and I ate half of it.
Oh my!
Gosh. My freezer right now is just at the point where the ice cream, when you take it out, it's not too hard to take it out of the tub.
Oh no!
It's at that soft spot every time. And so when I start eating that cookie dough ice cream, it's very hard for me to stop eating that cookie dough ice cream. I probably shouldn't have it in the first place, but I do. And I love it. But it's a really bad habit for me to take the tub out and not to take a bowl out at the same time. I didn't feel like taking a bowl out. And so I sat down with my wife and we were watching a show and I ate half of a tub of ice cream.
Goodness.
It was delicious.
Feels bad.
Bad habit.
Yeah, but I love what you're saying there with the, making sure you're making good habits will prevent the bad habits. Because if you think about it, if everything you do in your life is a habit and you're making sure they're all good habits, there's not really any room for bad habits to sneak in, because it's all just habit. It's all just good things that you do.
Exactly.
I think the hard thing for me there is I'm somebody who can get a little like bored or like antsy when things are like the same for too long. So I'm not somebody who would like love like a super strict routine. Like I need that like wiggle room. I need that like kind of go with the flow feel a lot of the time. So for someone like me, it's kind of hard because the time you want to leave for like that wiggle room is like probably also time where like bad habits could sneak in. Because you just want to like go with the flow. So I think that's what I struggle with a lot, is like trying to find that balance between having a lot of really good habits, but not being like so routine that I'm like getting bored and like just like antsy or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people struggle. I know that I've struggled with that. So let me give you guys an example. We were talking about reading our Bibles. If I sit down with my Bible every single day, right here in my office, open it up, and I read at the same time every single day, and there's no change at all to what I'm doing, it's probably going to become a routine, right? Like he said, get a little bit bored with it. So what I used to do back when I was in college is I would change it up a little bit. Me and my buddies one time, and I this is not for everybody. I'm not saying to go out and do this, but we actually one day we woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. We went into the woods with our Bibles. We went to listen. My friend was crazy. We needed a flashlight because it was super dark, and he was like, "I saw this in my dream." At that point, I knew we were lost. But anyways,
oh goodness.
We actually found a clearing, and he was like, "This is the spot." And there was 3 logs in a triangle, and there was only 3 of us, and so we each took our own log and we started reading with our flashlights. And then as the sun was coming up, we started singing hymns and things like that, things that we knew by heart. And it was just like it was different, and it felt different. And so, while I was in college, I would wake up early in the morning. I would read a sermon by somebody that a theologian that I really enjoy. I would read my Bible as well at the same time. I would do things. I would read with other people. I would read with Danielle, who was at the time my fiance. I would go and read with her. I'd have devotions with her. Change it up, doing devotions, not just doing the same exact thing every single day. And that can really help it from becoming just a routine, just something that you're doing every single day. Change it up. If you go for a jog every single day, go on a different route. Take a different route if you're able to. There's always something that you can be changing, because if it becomes too routine, it will become boring.
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good. Awesome. Did you have any more habit thoughts? I think we talked through a good bit today.
I don't think so. I think I need to make more good habits, but this month is definitely the laundry thing.
That's good.
I'm trying, guys. I know people are like, "Oh, well, women are supposed to have more clothes than men." Yes, they are. But when I say more clothes, I mean, like, I'm not even 10% done with my wife's clothes currently. I'm trying to reorganize a lot of stuff, and her dresser's already full. Like, I mean, overflowing with clothes. So now I'm folding clothes, and it's just going to be in baskets. There's nowhere else for me to put them. I ran out of hangers in the closet. What do I do?
Buy more hangers?
Or crazy thought. I haven't worn this in 3.5 years. I do this too. This is not just women. This is men as well.
I have some of those.
There's times you open up a drawer and you say, "Why do I have that pair of shorts? I haven't worn that since high school. I am a grown man." And it says my high school name on that pair of shorts. Why do I have those in my drawer still? Take them. If they're really that special to you, take a picture with a Polaroid camera, throw it in the garbage. Keep the picture. That's what you need.
I do have some like shirts that I keep that I don't really wear anymore, but I keep them just because they have like good memories behind them or whatever.
Yeah, I keep all of like my God Squad church shirts. So I have a few that are way too small. The one from 2017 is way too small. I will never wear that shirt. But I wasn't even there for the 2017 one, but it was still a memory in my life for reasons. But anyways, so I have that shirt and I kept it, and it's in I'll never wear it, but I kept it. So it's just folded in a drawer. But yeah, I'm talking about clothes that you would normally wear on a daily basis. This has 3 holes.
I don't have
a
lot of those.
Probably time for a new night shirt. Don't listen. If something has a hole in it, that doesn't mean it has turned into a night shirt. That means it should have been a night shirt 6 months ago. 6 months ago, right? Okay. So just create good habits. Create good habits.
Yeah, that's great. Really great discussion.
Just went off on a laundry kick over here. But anyways,
I feel like you kind of roasting your wife, but
no, it's not just her though. That's what I mean. Like okay. So for example, I went into my drawer the other day and I have a pair of khaki pants, and there are holes in each knee. And I used to use them for when I worked at the factory. I haven't worn them 2 years, 2.5 years. Why are they? They're still in my drawer. Why? I should have just went in my drawer, threw them in the garbage, buy a new pair of khaki pants or jeans or something of that nature. Just
gotta do it.
I just gotta do it. So it's not it like, and like I said, it's not just like certain people that do it. I think it's everybody. Create good habits.
Amen.
So,
alrighty, guys. Well, we got a little bit of time left to talk about some games that we've been playing. So it's finally later. We can talk about Rust.
We can talk about Rust. We can talk about Rust.
So, Boz, you've played a little bit.
About 5.5 hours.
So, what are your thoughts? I know your initial thought was that it was basically Minecraft, but it looks realistic.
Still kind of is. So I would never buy this game by myself to play it. So what I mean by that is I would never buy this game if I didn't have other people to play it with. There's certain games that you just can't do that. This is not one of those games, but there's 100 people from our community that are playing it. So it seems like a good time. And it is, I'll be completely honest. I still have no idea what I'm doing in it. I think I'll be more into it once I understand the game a little bit more, doing more PvP stuff, because it seems like everybody's hiding in the PvE zone currently. Yeah. And it's very sad. And I know we're trying to make changes to that. I think that will make it a lot better once it becomes PvP oriented, more PvP oriented. So that's exciting. So it's a good game. I'm enjoying it so far. I do, but because everybody's hiding in the PvE zone. Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft without mining, which is my favorite part about Minecraft and Stardew Valley. So it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm personally really amazed at how far the game has come since I last played it, because the game came out 8 years ago, and I played it 8 years ago, and it was rough. It was rough.
And it's still rough sometimes.
It's a lot better. Oh my gosh.
Horse riding? They need to do something, dude. My horse cannot jump.
Well, I just
my horse can't jump over a pebble.
They just need to be able to jump.
A pebble. Yeah. A pebble.
But yeah.
My horse can't jump over a pebble, guys.
Like, now they've got like all these kind of like base protections, and like the game like it just works now. Like before, there was no sort of like protections you could do for your base. The base building was very basic. You would just get raided all the time. Like,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, like it, and like they completely changed the map. Like they completely changed just like a lot of things about the game. So like I'm super amazed at the changes they've made to the game over the years and just how far it's come. They've added so much stuff. We've been playing with Fife, and like he literally spent like hours working on wiring. I think it works almost like redstone in Minecraft. So he's literally spent hours making an automated sprinkler system for us to just water our plants every so often. And like there's so many little things like that you can do in the game. There's just like so many possibilities, and like there's a lot of like diversity in like the gear you can get and things like that. And like not all the maps are the same either. Like there's different maps you can play on. You can like mix up things in the map. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to see where it's going to go, especially within our community, because our community is a great community. There's a lot of people. Listen, it's been had this map open for 10 days, and we have like 120 something. I think
like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of people that are actually here and doing things, which is really making it a lot of fun. We've met new people. I, ran past people and just talking to them. They think I'm raiding their base. I'm like, no, I'm just riding by on a horse. This has happened multiple times. I've been accused of raiding bases probably 20 times, and I'm literally just riding my horse.
Clearly raiding bases.
Clearly, I can't, and I'm sitting there like with a nail gun in my, in my pocket. Yeah, I'm gonna raid your base with a nail gun. That sounds smart. But anyways, so it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for more of the PvP type stuff to come out once you get like a base specifically set up.
Yeah, we actually did that last night. We went and made a PvP base.
I gotta go find it.
I know for me personally, it had been years and years and years since I played the game, and it had changed so much. So I wanted to kind of stick in PvP at first to just kind of get my bearings, relearn the game, things like that. And I hope that's what a lot of people are doing. I think I don't think we're gonna go like heavily PvP skewed with our server or anything. Yeah. But there definitely needs to be a bit of a rebalance with just how things are, how PvPers are rewarded and things like that. So I'm excited to start getting into more PvP. I was like inching into it a little bit more and more as I kept playing, like looting more in the PvP zones instead of in the PvE zones. I actually got killed one time in the PvP zone while I was trying to loot. It was really sad. I lost a gun, but now we have better guns.
Shout out to Seth Kings.
Shout out to Seth. We love you, dude.
I don't think he's in here, but hey, But so that's pretty amazing though. Yeah. So what other game? I know what it is. I'm itching to get back into it because I love it so much. What's the other game you've been playing?
Yes, I have finally started playing Age of Calamity. It's been a lot of fun. Like it was hard at first. What difficulty have you been playing on?
I've been playing on normal.
Okay, I've been playing on hard.
What I'm planning on doing is actually upping it to extreme after my first playthrough.
Do you unlock it after?
I think there's one. I thought there was one. I thought there was a very hard mode.
It's hard and very hard.
Oh, okay. So very hard. Yeah. Whatever the highest difficulty is.
I'm extreme.
No. Whatever. When I say extreme, it's like hard extreme. But anyways, regardless.
I had troubles with the first mission on very hard.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to try is like I want to I'm going to beat the game on normal. I'm pretty far and away into it, but eventually I would like to test my bearings in very hard and see what happens there. So I mean that might end very quickly, but I do think that would be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I've been really just impressed overall with like the quality of the game and like the amount of content there is. I know you're talking about that. There's like so much to do. Like it's so weird because like it's like a 2-button masher game, but there's like so much like diversity and like cool things you can do with those 2 buttons. And sometimes you get a third button. Yeah, every character feels really different and unique, but also like familiar because it's just the buttons are easy.
Right.
It's just really well done, and I've been loving like the story things, even if it's not like anything like super crazy new. It's just like bringing more life and background to the Breath of the Wild story, which is just awesome. It's been really fun. I like it a lot.
I'm excited. I won't spoil it. I'm excited for one character that you still have yet to unlock, and it is and even though I personally don't like using this character, I don't feel like they're great. The weapon choice is phenomenal, and that's the only reason why I use that character. I don't even like the character. It's just the weapon choice was so good, and so I will use that character a lot just because of that. So I'm excited for you to continue in the game, and finally, you're gonna know immediately when you see this character and you see the weapon choice come up. You're gonna go, oh. And then you're going to play them forever because it's hilarious. But yeah, so this game has just been absolutely amazing so far. I'm loving it. I am itching to get myself into Stardew Valley.
Really?
There's been new update. Been watching people play the game. Before the update, I was having that itch, and it's gonna happen, guys. I want to stream it.
The sigh.
Guys, my stream is dying.
Feels bad. Mine is too, don't worry.
Hey, but this person wants us to become famous here at the YokeTalk.
Become famous. Sweet. Thank you.
If I could only become famous. But yeah, I've streamed Stardew Valley once, and it was multiplayer actually with you and Mr. Mutant Gamer when he stole all of our TVs.
Yeah.
So I love that game though. So I'm excited. And the other night I started playing just by myself, just as a chill game. I started playing The Witness again. Really enjoy puzzle games, and so I've been really just like it's just such a fun game to get lost in. And I'm just doing the puzzles. I'm like, this actually doesn't make sense, but then you figure it out and you feel so accomplished every single time. So it's been fun.
Very nice.
Yes.
We're a little bit over time. That's okay. But I think we've pretty much run out of the topics for today. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about, Boz?
I don't believe so. You guys, stay tuned. February, we're going to be talking about relationships.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting. And I don't know if we're going to be changing the time yet.
We'll see.
We're talking.
We'll
we're
see.
talking. So stay tuned for that for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Those of you that are listening on another platform or at a different time, thank you so much for listening and coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and some good stuff coming.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's good stuff. Good games. Good topics. Good yokers. You guys
Good
are the
yokers.
best.
You
Thank
guys are all
for
the yokers.
For being here. You guys are awesome. And we will catch you next week, everybody. Take care.